The emergence of Pope Abdullah Hashem. The world watches as a new figure emerges on the global stage, a charismatic leader calling for unity and understanding between the world's two largest religions, Christianity and Islam. Pope Abdullah Hashem, a name whispered in hushed tones, has embarked on a mission to bridge the divide between these often conflicting faiths, a goal that has eluded peacemakers for centuries. His message is one of peace and harmony, a vision of a world where religious differences fade away in the face of shared humanity. But within these seemingly noble aspirations lies a shadow, a whisper of doubt that casts a long shadow over Hashem's intentions. The very notion of merging Christianity and Islam, two faiths with fundamentally different doctrines and beliefs, raises questions that cannot be ignored. Can such disparate belief systems be reconciled without compromising the very essence of what makes them unique? Or is this a dangerous path, one that could lead followers astray from the true teachings of their respective faiths? The emergence of Pope Abdullah Hashem presents a paradox, a beacon of hope for unity in a world riven by religious conflict, yet also a potential source of deception. His message resonates with a deep longing for peace and understanding, a longing that transcends religious boundaries. Yet the path he proposes is fraught with theological complexities and raises profound questions about the nature of faith, truth, and the dangers of spiritual deception. At the heart of the divide between Christianity and Islam lies the figure of Jesus Christ. Both faiths revere him, but their understanding of his nature and mission diverges sharply. For Christians, Jesus is the Son of God, the divine Messiah who came to earth to atone for the sins of humanity through his death and resurrection. He is the cornerstone of their faith, the bridge between God and man. Islam, while acknowledging Jesus as a prophet born of the Virgin Mary and a worker of miracles, does not ascribe divinity to him. Muslims believe Jesus was a messenger of God like Abraham or Moses, sent to guide humanity towards submission to Allah's will. They revere him as a prophet but reject the Christian doctrines of his divinity, death, and resurrection. This fundamental difference in the understanding of Jesus presents a seemingly insurmountable obstacle to Pope Abdullah Hashem's vision of a unified faith. To reconcile these two perspectives would require a fundamental reinterpretation of either Christian or Islamic theology, a prospect likely to be met with resistance from both sides. The question remains, is Hashem's call for unity based on a genuine desire to reconcile these differences, or does it mask a more deceptive agenda? The stark contrast between Christian and Islamic views on Jesus highlights the immense challenge facing any attempt to merge these two faiths. The theological chasm between them is vast, and any attempt to bridge it risks undermining the very tenets that define them. This raises serious questions about the feasibility of Pope Abdullah Hashem's mission and fuels concerns about the true nature of his message. The Book of Revelation, the final book of the Christian Bible, paints a vivid and unsettling picture of the end times, a period marked by tribulation, divine judgment, and the ultimate triumph of good over evil. Within this apocalyptic narrative, the figure of the false prophet emerges as a key player in the unfolding drama, a master of deception who leads humanity astray. Revelation chapter 13 describes the false prophet as a beast-like figure who arises from the earth, wielding the power to perform signs and wonders that deceive the inhabitants of the earth. He is a charismatic leader, a master of persuasion who uses his power to draw people away from the worship of the one true God and towards the Antichrist, the embodiment of evil. This biblical figure serves as a stark warning against spiritual deception, a reminder that not all who claim to speak for God are who they appear to be. The false prophet's ability to perform miracles, far from being proof of divine favor, is presented as a tool of deception, a means of leading people astray from the path of righteousness. The false prophet's role in Revelation underscores the importance of discernment in matters of faith. It serves as a reminder that appearances can be deceiving, and that even the most convincing displays of power can be used to manipulate and mislead. The Book of Revelation urges believers to test the spirits, to carefully examine the claims of those who claim to speak for God, and to remain vigilant against the ever-present danger of spiritual deception. Pope Abdullah Hashem's ambitious goal of merging Christianity and Islam immediately confronts the stark realities outlined in the Book of Revelation. The very notion of a unified faith, particularly one that seeks to reconcile such fundamentally different views on Jesus Christ, raises red flags in light of the biblical warnings about false prophets and end-times deception. Could Hashem's efforts, despite his seemingly noble intentions, be inadvertently paving the way for the fulfillment of these prophecies? Is his message of unity and reconciliation a deceptive veil, masking a more sinister agenda that aligns with the false prophet's mission to lead people astray from the true God? The potential for deception is further amplified by the lack of concrete information surrounding Hashem's background, his rise to prominence, and the specific doctrines he proposes for this new, unified faith. The absence of such details, coupled with the enormity of his claims, makes it difficult to assess the validity of his message and raises concerns about hidden motives. The lack of transparency surrounding Pope Abdullah Hashem's movement only deepens the mystery and amplifies the need for caution. The absence of clear information about his teachings and the specific steps he proposes to achieve this unprecedented religious unity makes it impossible to determine whether his intentions are genuine or if his message aligns with the deceptive tactics of the false prophet described in Revelation.